Hey everyone, and specifically Mardi Gras cruisers, past, present, and future cruisers. Today we are going to go over 10 things that I feel you are absolutely going to love when you cruise the Mardi Gras, or loved if you've already cruised the Mardi Gras. And you can put in your comments what you agree with or what you might have disagreed with. But these are 10 things coming up that you are going to absolutely love about the Mardi Gras, and we'll get started right after this.
I just can't get away from a good time.
Okay, so we're going to get right into it. And these aren't necessarily in any specific order, but I feel some of the higher numbered ones are probably a little less important. But I'm going to start with the Bolt roller coaster because I really feel like you're going to love it. Now, I went on the Bolt roller coaster the second week. I did it back to back on the Mardi Gras. And my wife and I, Anita, it's one of those things you got to do, right? I mean, it's the first roller coaster at sea on a ship, and you got to at least try it. Now, let me just tell you, it is an adrenaline rush. 40 miles per hour in a car, I know, whatever, boring. But somehow 40 miles an hour on top of a ship, especially when that first, little loop or whatever looks like you're just going to sail on into the ocean on the roller coaster, it does definitely give you a thrill. Now, I will say this, at the time of this recording, the cost per person is $15, which is pricey considering the ride is just a mere 2 laps. And I mean, it starts and it's over pretty quick. But for those seconds that you are on it, it is a little bit of a thrill. And I think it is worth the $15 for that particular thrill. Okay, so let's move on to number 9. Number 9, I think the drink menus at the 2 new themed bars, I'm talking about the Brass Magnolia and the Fortune Teller, some drinks on there are really, really tasty, really good drinks. I'm going to give you one for the Brass Magnolia that I'm pretty confident you're going to love, and that is the Bayou Lemonade. Give the Bayou Lemonade a shot at the Brass Magnolia. I think you'll be a big fan. Now, when you go to the Fortune Teller, if you've watched any Mardi Gras videos so far, you've probably seen that in the Fortune Teller, they have this drink that looks like a crystal ball, right? And it's, looks like a big bubble, and sometimes, they infuse it with some smoke. And it kind of tastes a little like a margarita, but it's just a cool experience to order that crystal ball. Another drink there, Bog Juice, is really good, Venus Rising. But they have, these kind of spooky themed Fortune Teller-like drinks, so it's a very appropriately themed bar for the drinks that they serve up to you. There are a variety of choices, but I think you'll find one that you really enjoy. All right, so let's move on to number 8. One of the 8 things, or one of the top 10 that you're going to love here, but the Carnival Kitchen. Okay, I don't know if a lot of Mardi Gras cruisers have taken advantage of the Carnival Kitchen in the past, but it was really fun. Anita and I, we took a pie making class in which we made an apple pie together, and you have the chef walking you through the entire process. You're making it from scratch, and at the end of it, you complete your pie, you have it ready for the oven, and they give you a note or whatever and ask you where you're going to be eating dinner, and they're supposed to deliver your pies to that specific location, or you can request it be brought to your room. Now, there are a variety of Carnival Kitchen classes. I mean, there's a barbecue class, there's a tailgating class, there's a cake making class. I mean, there's all different kinds of classes that you can find. Sushi making is one that was sold out that we were trying to get into, but it was sold out, so we couldn't get it. So if that sounds like something that would be fun for you and your spouse, if it's a girls trip, even the girls, even guys, if you're going to do the barbecue or the tailgating class, if you're on a buddy's cruise or whatever, or obviously, ladies, you would love that too as well. But yeah, it's fun. You'll enjoy the Carnival Kitchen. So let's go on to number 7. All right, so number 7, Guy's Pig and Anchor, all right, on the Carnival Mardi Gras is massive. It's a massive seating area, a very large, lengthy bar, several bartenders to serve you up some exceptional drinks. Don't forget, the best Bloody Mary at sea can be found at Guy's Pig and Anchor Bar. Okay, now, in addition, Guy's Pig and Anchor serves food, lunch, dinner, even breakfast. Okay, now on Embarkation Day, they offer steak, and it's a very tasty steak. Now, is it the quality of steak that you're going to get in the steakhouse for a charge? No, of course not. But it's a very tasty steak, and on Embarkation Day, it is free. It's free. Now, there's a lot of other items on the menu you can get for free as well on Embarkation Day. But if you want to take advantage of that free steak, go to Guy's Pig and Anchor. I think you'll love it. And get also the loaded tots. They got a little kick to them, but they are scrumptious. Okay, get the loaded tots to complement that free steak of yours, if that is what you'd like. And then, they have a variety of other things as well. But I think you'll love that. All right, moving on to number 6. All of the live music all over the ship, especially decks 6, 7, and 8, alongside the bars usually. I was a big fan of the violin trio, but there's also, a couple individuals that, will sing a lot of cover songs, play guitar, things like that. And then bands, of course, that are going to play a lot of your favorites as well. Just some wonderful, wonderful live music that you can enjoy with a drink or just sitting there, and watching them and taking it all in. So make sure you take advantage of the opportunity to relax with some live music of, whatever your particular music taste is. And I will tell you this, I've always loved the violin trio when I go on cruises. It's not something that I do when I'm at home. I don't listen to a lot of classical music or anything, but they do the violin trio. They play a lot of cover songs, but with violins. So the music you hear is music you've heard before in many cases, but it's just played via the violin, and it's a great twist, and they just are brilliant, brilliant musicians. So that would be my recommendation. Take advantage of the live music. You are going to love that. All right, now number 5. You probably already heard this. You probably were just waiting where in the list it was going to be. But Shaq's Big Chicken, okay? It lives up to the hype. You ever wonder how you hear something so hyped up and then you go taste or see it for yourself and you're like, yeah, I didn't quite live up to the expectations, whether that was a movie or whatever else like that. I had the same feelings when I went to Shaq's Big Chicken. I said, people are just hyping this up because it's a new thing, and the chicken sandwiches are really, really good. So much so that I skipped other venues that I wanted to try so I could go back to Shaq's Chicken again. It's the first place I stopped to eat on my first day on the Mardi Gras, and it did not disappoint. I got 2 chicken sandwiches. And then as I went back, I tried pretty much everything on the menu. I will tell you my favorite menu item is the Uncle Jerome chicken sandwich. It's dipped in a little heat, a little sauce that has a little kick to it. And, it's very simple. I think they put pickles and a little slaw on top of it as well. But the combination of everything together, the spice, the juicy chicken, it's just wonderful. So Shaq's Big Chicken, you are going to love, especially if you love chicken sandwiches and chicken in general. So go check that out. All right, number 4. Now, at this time of this recording, the Mardi Gras is still Carnival's newest ship. And because it is Carnival's newest ship, they are going to send some of their best across the fleet. Best servers, best bartenders, best performers. That's not to say there aren't, the best performer might be on a smaller ship, or the best bartender might be on a smaller ship. But across the fleet, you're going to get some of the best that work for Carnival, because obviously if it's their newest ship, they want people to feel like, ooh, wow, this was just amazing, everything else like that. So I feel like you're going to love the service that you get on the Mardi Gras. You're going to love the interaction you have with bar staff if you enjoy going to bars. You're going to love the performances, especially in Grand Central, which we'll get to in a minute. But you're just going to love that extra special. It's usually always very good service across the Carnival fleet, but there's just a little something extra, I think, that you're going to experience on the Mardi Gras. So look forward to that. I think you're going to love it. All right, number 3. Now, for you gamblers out there, the casino on the Carnival Mardi Gras is hands down the biggest casino across the Carnival fleet to date. They have a smoking side, they have a non-smoking side, and they have ample table games on each side and a plethora of slot machines, if that is your thing. So I really feel like you are going to love the casino, assuming that it's kind to you. We know, if we're gamblers, that the casino is not always kind to our pocketbook, but I hope it is for you. And if it is, I know you will love the casino on the Carnival Mardi Gras. That gets us to number 2. I alluded to it just a little bit ago, but Grand Central and all of the shows and performances they have at Grand Central, whether it's Family Feud, the Mardi Gras party is something that I thought was just you want to go check this out, and not really doing anything. It was wonderful. I went when Lee Mason was the cruise director. He put on a heck of a performance. I believe the Flying Scotsman is there at the time of this performance. I know later in the year, Kendall Fire is going to be there. She's awesome. They save, as I mentioned just a bit ago, they put some of the very best, and you're getting some of the very best, arguably the best cruise directors in the entire fleet are going to be reserved for these newest, shiniest, biggest ships. Okay, so I think you'll be very happy with the cruise director, whoever that may be, when you go on the Mardi Gras, and they're going to work for you and just make you love your experience and give you a great time. Okay, so in addition to the Mardi Gras party, there are 3 new shows that you cannot miss. All right, now one of the iconic shows that they have, and if you haven't seen it, you must see this. You must. Celestial Strings. You'll thank me later. Those of you that have seen Celestial Strings, you're like, oh yeah, of course, coach. Yeah, of course. Celestial Strings, I have to go see that, right? I've seen Celestial Strings probably close to a dozen times, and I'll tell you, I enjoy it probably as much or more each and every time I watch it. It's absolutely brilliant. Go see Celestial Strings. But there are some new shows, okay? Love in Vegas, fabulous, okay? On the Carnival Mardi Gras now, since the Grand Central spans 3 decks, they have aerial acrobatics going on. They have a lot of performers suspended by cable, and they are literally flying through the air, doing spins, doing flips, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. The opening to Love in Vegas, for example, they have an aerial performer on a hang glider, and the LCD screen in the back looks like, the Red Rock Canyons, and it looks like he's flying through the Red Rock Canyons. So if you have a really good seat, it makes it look like you're going with him on the hang glider, flying through the Red Rock Mountains, outside of Vegas. So it is a wonderful, wonderful experience. Then the next day, or maybe it's the day after, but you have Voodoo Moon. Now this is a spooky kind of, Halloween type themed, soul-grabbing performance, I guess you could say, in which the performers are in a very dark set, and there are these dark, shadowy figures that don't look like they're gonna be much fun. They're coming for your souls. They're coming to get you, right? But they are flying all over, and it's a very spooky experience. But these songs that go along with this spooky experience are a lot of fun, and it is another show that you cannot miss. You are going to love it. Now, the final show I highly recommend is We Are One. We Are One is a show in which the cast travels around the world, and they give you a little taste of the culture in those parts of the world, and show how, everybody is kind of one, even though we have a different culture, different experiences. They come back and they tie everything together, and it's just a heartwarming story. It's an uplifting story. There are some aerial acrobatics in this as well, not quite as many as those 2 previous shows I mentioned, but it's just an absolutely wonderful experience. And let me just forewarn you, those other shows that I mentioned have 2 performances. The first week that I was on the Mardi Gras, I missed We Are One because I thought there was a second performance. We were at the steakhouse when we came out, the show was already over. We're like, oh, let's get seats for the show. And we found out there was no show. Thankfully, I was on a second week and I got to experience We Are One, and I'm so glad that I did. All right, now, the number one thing about Mardi Gras that you are going to absolutely love is the choices. And I'm going to give you a bonus one, so really we're going to get to 11. But the choices on the Mardi Gras, there are so many eating venues that you may not get to all of them, okay? There is, Shaq's Big Chicken, Guy's Burger. I didn't even mention it. That's like iconic, right? It's like, how could you go on a cruise and not have Guy's Burger as part of your top 10? Because there are so many things to love about the Mardi Gras. You are going to have such a wonderful time. Street eats is another thing, that I didn't mention, but I had some wonderful street eats as well. There are you need more than a week. You need more than a week on the Mardi Gras to really, truly experience everything. So the choices, like I say, from the eating, from the entertainment, you are never going to be bored on this cruise. And if you are, you're not even trying to have fun. And I don't want to hang out with you because there's so much to do and so much fun to be had on the Mardi Gras that you are going to love it. Now, the bonus item that I'm going to give you is the Serenity Deck. I feel like you're going to love the Serenity Deck. It is the largest Serenity Deck in the fleet. There is spacious seating everywhere. Now the layout could be a little bit better in my opinion, but they have 2 very large hot tubs that I think you could probably fit at least a dozen people in pretty comfortably. The one thing I will say, they have a pool, which is something they don't have in hardly any other ships, except the Sunshine, I believe, has a pool on the Serenity Deck as well. But they have a cold pool. Now, I wish it was bigger. That's about my only bad thing that I can say about it. I wish it was bigger, but the Serenity Deck is a wonderful place to go. Now, where the pool area is, it's going to be a little less serene. But outside of that pool area on the Serenity Deck, there is plenty of seating where you can go and seek some solitude and some quiet. But it is a great place also. So I told you I was going to give you 10. I gave you 11 things that you're going to love about the Carnival Mardi Gras. I hope you enjoyed this list. And for some of you past Mardi Gras cruisers, could you please put in the comments some other things that you feel our Mardi Gras future cruisers will love? And if there's anything you disagreed with, feel free to put that in the comments as well. I will end by saying we are still a relatively new channel. We started in just July of 2021, so we are just over a year old. We are up to around 1,500 subscribers. But if you enjoy content like this, I do this type of content. I do cruise vlogs. As a matter of fact, if you're going on a future Mardi Gras cruise, I have 14 cruise vlogs from my 2 weeks on the Carnival Mardi Gras, in addition to likes and dislikes and a tour of decks 6, 7, and 8, so a ton of Mardi Gras content. I'm also going to be releasing 5 things, believe it or not, as much as I love the Mardi Gras, 5 things that I don't think people are going to like when they cruise the Mardi Gras. So be on the lookout for that, and you can get notification when that video comes out by clicking subscribe and the notification button, and that one's going to be out very shortly. But once again, happy cruising, everybody, coach cruisers out there, and you future coach cruisers, once you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to join us on the Facebook page, also called Coach Cruise, and our TikTok is up and running too. I have an associate named Sandra who is putting together a bunch of fun TikTok videos related to cruising that I think many of you will like. So you can find us in all those different formats, and I hope to see you on one of them, and I hope to hear some comments and see that like button lighten up. All right, take care, everybody.
I just can't get away from a good